Welcome to another edition of OCG Thursday, where, well, America can't afford to play this deck. So, what is up, guys? I'm Cool here. We're going to be smashing through some Evil Heroes, some Chaos Max, and, well, ABC, because now the OCG can play more copies of Dragon Buster in their deck, and it is quite interesting. So, for those of you that don't know, Evil Heroes just got their newest support in the Duelist Pack in America, and we can't afford to build this, and it's rather sad. So this is a little interesting take on Evil Heroes coming out of the OCG, and there's just kind of something about these new cards that, well, make this deck a little bit better. So, Evil Hero Adjusted Gold. Discard this card to add one Dark Fusion or one card that specifically lists Dark Fusion in its card text from your deck to your hand, except for Adjusted Gold. And you can only use the effect of Evil Hero Adjusted Gold once per turn, and this card cannot attack unless you control a fusion monster. They straight up said 2100. Nah, not allowing that to happen. Now, one big thing this deck actually got was the Malicious Bane, which is their new boss monster. It's in one Evil Hero monster plus one level 5 or higher monster, and must be fusion or special summoned with Dark Fusion. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. And during your main phase, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card's. Also, this guy gains 200 attack for each monster destroyed this way, and you cannot declare an attack for the rest of this turn except with hero monsters. So, basically, if you're making this guy, they're basically trying to make it so that you're going to be ending the game with heroes. And basically being able to get a free board wipe out of this guy, pretty good. So, let's kind of talk about this, see what's going on here. So, we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, triple copies of Destiny Hero Malicious, 2 copies of Pankratops. Definitely a nice little swing here to see that we're playing these now in the main deck, especially in a deck that we want to go second to basically close games. I agree with this. We have 1 copy of Honest Neos just to basically be able to power up our hero monster and push for game, 1 copy of Shadow Mist, 1 copy of Solid Soldier, 2 copies of Stratos, triple copies of Adjusted Gold, 1 Malicious Edge, 1 copy of the Sinister Necrom, and then we have triple copies of Max C and 1 copy of Vion. Vion's still one of the best hero cards that our deck has going for us. We have 2 copies of A Hero Lives, 2 copies of Called by the Grave, 2 copies of Dark Calling, 2 copies of Dark Fusion. Basically, being able to access either of these at any point that you really want is beautiful. Triple copies of E-Emergency Call, 2 copies of Mass Change, 1 Poly, 2 copies of Super Polymerization, and 1 copy of the Supreme King's Castle. So you can fusion summon fusion monsters that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion with effects other than Dark Fusion. And then once per turn during damage calculation, if your Fiend monster battles opponent's monster and send 1 Evil Hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, your monster gains attack equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 200 until the end of the turn, even if this card leaves the field. So basically, this lets us turn on our super polys and our polymerizations to better disrupt our opponents. Actually super cheesy. And then our last cards here are triple infinite and permanents. Down here in the extra deck we have 1 copy of Dread Decimator, 2 Cross Crusader, 1 copy of the Isolde, 1 Granite Loyalist. So basically we get to special summon 1 rock monster from our hand in face down defense mode, or add a rock monster from our deck to our hand. Well, I mean, still, for what we're trying to use this for, I don't know, it's an interesting card. We have 1 Adoration, we have 1 copy of Starving Venom, 1 copy of Dion, 2 copies of Dark Law, 1 copy of Blast, 1 Anki, 2 copies of Malicious Bane, and 1 copy of the Dark Gaia. Gosh, this is literally so reminiscent of the older days, like, hello, OTK card. Good times. And side deck here we have triple Phantasmi, triple Nibiru, triple copies of Twin Twister, triple copies of Solemn Judgment, 2 copies of Strike, and 1 copy of Emptiness. By the way, this and this is an interaction. It's really cute. Alright, next up on our list here, we have a little bit of love to Chaos Max, and it's been a while coming. We're also playing this little card, Psychic Fervor. During the battle phase, you target 1 face of monster you control. You lose life points equal to its attack, and if you do that, monster's attack is doubled until the end of this turn. It cannot attack directly this turn. You can only activate 1 Psychic Fervor. I'm going to say Psychic Fever per turn. So my opponent's defense monster has 0 defense, and I do this, and I take 4k life. I just beat over something. That's 8,000 damage. Well, that's an OTK where I come from. That's really spicy, actually. And it only makes it so that that monster cannot attack directly this turn. Whatever else you put on board, still free to do whatever it wants. So, we play 2 copies of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. Pretty standardized, honestly, now. We have 2 ripple copies of Kandal, triple copies of Talismandra, and 2 copies of Zotborg the Mega Monarch, along with triple copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon, 1 copy of the Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, triple copies of Chaos Max, 2 copies of Chalice Slime, spells with triple Advanced Ritual Art, 1 copy of Machine Bingo Go, 2 copies of Chaos Form, triple copies of Creature Swap. Oh yeah, giving our opponent a slime to OTK them through. It's really cute. We have 1 Incantation Inception, triple copies of Pot of Extravagance, 1 copy of Preparation Rites, triple Psychic Fervor, and triple copies of the Melody of the Awakening Dragon. Down in the extra deck, we have 1 Security Dragon, 1 Saruja, 1 copy of Crusadia Abramax, 2 Link Kribo, 1 Link Spider, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 copy of Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Omega, triple copies of Herald of the Arclight, and triple copies of Ints. Side deck here, we have 2 copies of Dogoron, triple copies of Droll Knockbird, 1 Gamma Steel, triple copies of Maxi, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Twin Twister, and triple copies of Red Rebuto, wrapping this up. As I said, this deck is simple. Step 1, get some monsters on the field, 0 defense. Step 2, summon Chaos Max. Step 3, give your opponent said 0 defense monster. Step 4, double your Chaos Max's attack and attack over that 0 defense mode monster for lethal. That is really cheesy. I love 4-step plans. It really brings life together for me. So, well, there's not much else to really say on this. That's Chaos Max Turbo for you, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. Ah, man. The OCG finally gets the chance to play ABC. And I will tell you, this has been a long time coming. And by a long time coming, we still only have 2 Dragon Buster. I don't know, the OCG really abused this guy during the beginning of Link format. Many cards were punished because Link format just had a lot of really weird things to do with it. Crystal Wings were everywhere. It was a really weird time. You know, ABC invoked. Well, now that we've got limitations, you know, risen off of ABC Dragon Buster here, we get the chance to see some of these older decks come back into the format. And while a lot of people might not be genuinely excited for that, this is probably the first time in years the OCG's gotten the chance to play ABC, and it's interesting. So, we have 2 copies of ASL Core, 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of Beat Buster Drake, 2 copies of Sea Crush Wyvern. Very standardized all across the board here. I like the 2-3-2 split. Honestly, being able to do crazy little A loops is really good. But sometimes, especially in a build like this, maximizing your numbers might not be the most optimal. We have 1 copy of Effect Veiler, 1 Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Gold Gadget, triple copies of Max C, and triple copies of Silver Gadget. Spells are triple Call by the Grave, 2 copies of Chicken Game, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Set Rotation, 1 Terraforming, 2 copies of 2 copies of Twin Twister. Then we have 2 copies of Union Hanger, triple copies of Upstart Goblin, and triple copies of Infinite Permanence, wrapping up the main deck here. I will say, for all intents and purposes, I like this main deck a lot. Now, obviously, Chicken Game, but we can make adjustments. Down here in the extra deck, we have 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Saruja, 1 Cleaver Genius, 1 Platinum Gadget, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 Hip Hoshigan, 1 copy of Needle Fiber. Of course, the OCG gets to just go 2 monsters and no Needle Fiber. You know, bring out my Ghost Ogre, continue on my day. Then we have 1 Borrelsword Dragon, 1 copy of Borreload. Then we have Gear Diamond Direwolf, 1 Dagast Emerald, and then 2 copies of Dragon Buster. Side deck, 2 Dino Wrestle Pankratops, triple Phantasme, 1 Twin Twister, triple Skill Drain, 2 copies of Solemn Strike, 2 Hunting Nightmare, and 2 copies of Union Scramble. Wrapping up this week's OCG Thursday. Once again, thanks to Lundrati, as always, for finding the most interesting decks out there from the OCG side of the game. It's relatively interesting, some of the things they're coming up with. And of course, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow, bright and early, for that Friday Market Watch we've all come to know and love. Alright guys, catch you on the flip side. Deuce Sereno. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.